Right, team, we're back. We are back. Here we go. Let's get our framing set. Should be good. Right, here we go. Holy moly. Where are we? Just making sure we're all set. Looks like it. A little bit of a delay on my end. Not going to lie. That's fine. Just means that everyone's going to be doing it quicker than I am. We're in. I was just making sure that this beautiful face and everything was going to be on screen. Welcome, team. Welcome, everyone. Back here for 2022. I was organised last night. Got the workout on behind me. A very easy one today, I guess, to kick things off. We, as you all know, I think there's great chat that goes on. It's great chat that goes on the Facebook page. People asking questions, bits and pieces, and we had one that was talking about how, because I'm so big, and I have great sort of control into the front and then come out. It was like I think Alison was saying like I bounce. She feels like she bounces back. So I think what we'll do is we'll really work on that today. I think it is one of the key things around being on the rowing machine, because when you're using the machine, you've got to understand that it is a machine, okay? And the biggest, I guess, detriment to people is that they don't quite understand that the flywheel is spinning as fast as you're making it spin, and every revolutions that you lose as you come into the front and try and change that direction around the catch slows you down, okay? And so if you're trying to get that back to the same revolutions that you had previously, but you've lost a few hundred because of either too much time at the front, or you sort of get in there and bounce back and you haven't quite got the form or the position to be able to hold it, we just lose speed, okay? And now it doesn't sound like much, but now multiply that by 400, 500, or however many strokes that you'll end up doing over a session. Now you've got an issue, okay? And it's not so much an issue, it just means that like when you get to those last sets or those last few minutes of a workout, you're like, man, I'm tired. I'm worn down, and my speeds were not what they were at the start, okay? And that's really the addressing thing, is trying to give you guys the tools to be able to do a workout and sustain a pace that you're setting, or not have as much fade towards the end of your piece, okay? And that front end of the rowing stroke, especially on the rowing machine and out on the water as well, is one of the most crucial things, because that is where we continue what we've already done, okay? We're working our asses off, everyone, okay? No one sits on a rowing machine and does bugger all, okay? We're all working hard because it's hard, okay? And so the idea around what we're trying to do is just make it slightly easier on ourselves to maintain the amount of power that we've already used to make the machine go, to give us some numbers on the screen, okay, and to really work on that. So today, because it's all sort of low rate, okay, and there's quite a bit of change, okay, this is the other thing as well, is that because we'll have that bit of change, we'll increase some ratings, we'll increase some hand speeds, okay, bits and pieces like that. And that will allow us to get the feeling of what actually does happen with that change in direction around the front with some lower speeds, and then we start getting up. I'm not going to get up too high, because the majority of what we're trying to achieve is, if we do it well at the pace that we do the bulk of our training, then we should be able to move that through into other stuff, okay? So if we do it well low, we can transfer it through when it starts to get higher, okay? So that's really what we'll try and do today. So it looks like a mess on the board. I could probably have written it out a little bit better, but it's just 2-minute changes for the first 3 sets, okay? And we're basically just doing pyramids, okay? We'll go up in rate. which means that as the rating increases, all we do, as we know, we just move everything slightly quicker. Okay, we start off at 18. I thought it'd be a good chance to just, especially if we're trying to work around this front end, going back down onto that 18, because there's a lot of time, will just give us that ability to feel, you know, because one thing as well, because the machine's got like a slope on it, you know, what we want to be doing is using the slope as well as this resistance of the handle coming back to really allow us to get that compressive energy towards the front, be thinking and prepared before we get into the catch, and then all we do is we just push straight out of it, okay? And so that's really one of the key parts, is that we let it roll into the front, and then just before we get to the front, you know, you'll always hear me talking about the feet. You know, we get that pull on the feet like this around the finish, then it transfers back onto the feet, and then just as we come into the front, we should now feel the feet pushing down on the footboard, and we can feel those muscles getting into that position, and then we just can press away from what we've just done. Okay, so that's basically the key. That's what we're going to talk about a lot of. The rest of it's just all about relaxation. So as we get into it, find a really nice zone that you want to work in, and then as we increase, we'll see a little bit of change in numbers. Okay, hopefully we'll just get another split, maybe two. Okay, and we'll just be working that a little bit more as we go up. And then as we come down, the idea of, because it's a pyramid, is that now we really do have to focus on what's happening around the front, because if we lose too many RPMs with that flywheel too early, all of a sudden after say 10 or 15 seconds, we go from whatever we were on our splits, and now they drop quite dramatically. Okay, and we want to try and instead of it looking like a pyramid, we want it to go up and then slowly sort of come off the other side. Okay, so that we hold our speed a little bit better on the way down. Okay, that's about it. Let's jump on, get a little bit of warm up done. I got to say, I played some cricket on the weekend at a mate's 40th, and I've got to say the shoulders and the body do not like it, because I'm not a cricketer, too big. And so we'll rock and roll, and then we'll get into this workout. So as always, lock and load. Better start the old heart rate monitor. Good old Apple. Where are we? Yeah, pal. Great. Okay, so just as always, just limber up a couple of minutes in your own style, how you want to do it. Remember, we're not really going up too high. So this is really just getting that feeling of what we're trying to do in terms of our form. Nice and relaxed. Remember, especially with what we're trying to do today, we want to be as loose as we can through the body. Okay, now when I mean loose, what I mean is the muscles should feel like a hang, and they should feel like this big group that's pushing us through. You know, we don't necessarily need to feel what we're doing with the legs, but what we feel through the body and through the arms in this hang position generally dictates how we feel overall. Okay, we feel tight in the body, we feel tight in the arms. Okay, we're probably using a little bit too much like tension through these smaller groups, which will just wear us down, as I say, after a few hundred strokes. Okay, so remember that the big groups, they're the ones doing the work. Everything else is really hanging ourselves in this position. Okay, this is good. We just keep lengthening out the stroke. Okay, nice. Okay, this is good. Okay, so now, let's just start this feeling before we get into the piece of how we come into the front and then how we move out, okay? We don't want to make it feel like a pause. We don't want to be like that and then go, okay? Remember, we don't want to come in and then feel like we're going to punch it out. We want to feel like it's a continuous motion around that front. We roll in and we push away, okay? Roll in, push away. Just a nice continuous speed. We've got that compression coming on the feet, the body's in that position through here. Okay, we don't need to be set up here already and then roll in. Remember to just be supple, roll with it, and then as we get to that front, take the flywheel up and go again. Okay, good. Just like that. Okay, nice and smooth. Okay, a couple more. Let's press it on a bit. Shake it out. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so same as always. You guys focus on how you're doing it. Just listen to me in the background. Okay, we're just going to run through all the different parts, making sure that you stay relaxed. Let the machine do the work for you on that recovery. Get into that nice, easy position. We'll just keep working on this front pickup as the ratings pick up. As the ratings pick up, just moving that little bit quicker, looking for that little bit more acceleration of the leg rather than power of the leg. Even though it's low rate, just remember that the legs just push down just a little bit quicker, okay? That's what we're trying to do. We've already got them working hard, just got to push them down a little bit faster, which means that the body comes in a little bit faster, the hands come towards us that little bit quicker. Okay, that's the main thing that we're trying to do, okay? So I didn't actually run through it, but as you can see, first one, 18, 20, 22, 20, 18. Second one, we're going to go offset, 19, 21, 23, 21, blah, blah, blah. And then the next one is actually, we're just going to go down, okay? 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. Okay, so we're going to start that first one quite with some gusto, and then we're just going to control ourselves all the way down. Okay, and then the last one, we're going to change it every minute. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. Boom, finished. Okay, so there's a lot of changing happening in that last one. So let's jump on now. Remember, select workout, 75 seconds rest. I thought I'd give you just a little bit more, first one back and all. I don't know how many people have been training over the holiday break. Well, I haven't done a lot, not gonna lie. Is it summer over here? We've been at the beach. Right, so select workout, new workout, intervals time. Make sure that top one, we want 10 minutes on the set time. Okay, and 1 minute and 15 seconds, just to complicate it really well for you guys. Right, where's my drag? Up to 5. It's good. Right, okay, ready to rock and roll. Press the check box. We're good to go. Quick drink, lock and load. Here we go. Okay, so just really good patience. Okay, I'll talk about patience as we go along on this 18. Okay, and then a little bit more speed at that 20, 22, and then obviously with everything else that we're doing as well. So I'll call the changes. You guys get good focus on what we're trying to achieve. Really work on that front end today. Okay, so here we go. Sitting ready. Right, are we ready? Attention. Go. Okay, so 18 is very patient. We haven't really done a lot at 18 for a while. Thought I'd throw some back in to the mix. Okay, so let's just first and foremost find this rate. Okay, there's patience with the whole stroke. So remember at 18, we don't need to be real fast and then real slow coming forward. That whole stroke wants to have a continuous feel with like the hands. See how the hands are just rolling with the speed. Okay, no other part is super faster than anything else. Okay, this is good. So now we've got this motion that's happening now with our set forward. And we're just going to feel this compression as we roll into the front. Remember, feel the resistance of this chain, you know. If you take your hands off, it's really trying to pull us forward. Feel that in the arms. Allow that to start setting us and drawing the body forward as we roll into the front. Good. Just nicely feeling us slide forward with that chain. Feel that relationship between the handle and the seat. Okay, this is good. So, moving up to 20 strokes a minute. Now, so remember, just move those hands a little bit quicker. Just a little bit more acceleration on the legs. See, and we'll just see that speed come down a bit. This is good. Okay, now we've got a new standard of movement speed, both recovery and on the drive. Always thinking now around this compression of our body, remembering that we want to get ourselves in a position with our torso and our body in that forward position that we need so that we can swing back through the middle of the stroke. Okay, we don't want to be upright like this coming into the catch, you know, or coming in and then lurching. We are setting that shape of our body as we come forward. Okay, right through here. Doesn't have to be done and then roll forward. Remember that soft knee break allows us to be smooth. The more continuous and smooth we can become on the stroke, the easier it is to let the machine do the work on this recovery to help us get set. And then we can just push out of it and get the numbers for it. Okay, up 2 again. Now we start feeling a little bit more speed with that drive. Okay, good handle speed around the back. Nice and flat with that chain. Remember the drive and the recovery. You almost want to just feel that chain on a plane. Straight in and out. Small movements. Okay, but making sure we don't drop it too much. If we're dropping the chain, tend to find that the shoulders are following it or the chest's following it. If it's nice and flat, it means the arms get drawn out in front of us. We can feel that resistance and we roll with it. Okay, good. Nice. Okay, so feel as we come into the front, that compression And the smoothness, how smooth can we change this direction? We feel the seat coming up to our ankles. We feel the stretch in the calf muscles, the Achilles. Our heads are nice and tall and proud. Body's staying still in position. Okay. And then we just press and roll out. Okay. So now hold this control as we go down. Now back to 20. So patience. A little bit less speed of the hands. Still feeling this roll coming forward. Nice. Really good. Excellent. Okay, feel that hang now. Okay, it's starting to get quite warm. Lungs are working. Heart's working for us. Want to keep focused on this rolling speed as we come in. And then that momentary point where we change the direction, we don't want it to feel like a stop and then a go. We're literally rolling around, rolling and away. Okay, nice continuous motion. Taking a nice push, those big muscle groups. Feeling the legs, driving our body positions that we're holding with the core, under the armpits. Okay, down 2 now. So now even more patience. Okay, no stopping, no pausing around the finish. Continuing that speed of the flywheel. Good. Okay, so on the way down, trying to maintain the speed that we created without having too much drop off. It will decrease, but it's all about trying to hold this flywheel by how we get the speed around the front, how we pick it up. This is good. Really good. Good motion. Press and press away. Good. Stay loose and relaxed. Remember, trying to avoid any sort of jolt around the front. If you get in there, you can hang away with that smoothness. Boom. Just like that. Right, she's going to be a sweaty one today. Okay, so really nice to get those changes and just really focus on what's happening into here, okay? Remember, change trying to pull us that way. Allow it to do it, roll with it, okay? And we set into that catch from loose hands around here. We don't have to have them straight before we get over the knees. We want to have them coming out over the knees, soft knees. Now we're in position. Just let that machine draw us forward into the front. Just ride it, okay? Just ride this recovery through here. You know, you should be able to literally have one finger on there, okay? And feel that resistance taking you forward, okay? We want that same feeling as we come in. And then we're ready. We're in this position about here, ready to just move around here, okay? Right, here we go. 19. Now, so basically the same again. Warm into it for the first 20, 30 seconds. Back onto our speed. And then we'll shift through as we go along. Okay, so we've got our rhythm here, okay? Should feel yourself now getting a continuous motion, back and forward. Flow with the machine. Get that feeling that the machine is doing some of this work for you coming forward. Allowing you to feel the different muscle groups in sequence, getting prepared for the catch, even on this recovery. You got the stretch under the armpits, okay, not over top of the shoulders like that. Remember to try and keep it under so that we get a really good stretch. Connection down through the lats, right into the back, right down towards the glutes, okay? We hold that posture to be able to swing through the middle of the stroke. Right, up to 21. Now, you know how to do it. Hand speed. Just roll a little bit quicker. Always remember when you're changing up gear rating, it doesn't have to happen in one stroke. Okay? 4 or 5, 6 or 7, don't care. Okay? We slowly change. We find a new rhythm. At this rating, we can feel that everything now is a lot quicker. Not a lot quicker, but definitely noticeably quicker than what we were doing before. And now we've just got to keep on top of that. Keep moving with it. Okay, and now we start to focus on the flywheel again. Smoothness rolling in. Change of direction coming out. Okay, good. Really good. Okay, and just for the last 30 seconds of this, focus the lead drive and the body's getting driven off by the legs. If we're hanging long, we feel that push of the legs, the body opens out right through the stroke. Okay? I'm going to share with the legs. Body comes with it. Right. 23. Now, we can really feel this push on the legs, acceleration of the body. Really good. Long arms, remember this hang. Breathe into it. Feel those feet. Feet and hands, feel them for a bit. Feel the relationship. When we drive, we can feel the drive through the pressure on the foot plate. We can feel the hands getting driven back towards us because of the way that we're holding our bodies and the pressure that we're putting through the stroke. Okay, nice and smooth. One smooth drive. Remember, one go at it. Don't want to get towards the end and then try and pull the hands in. One smooth go at it. Sequence the stroke. Legs and body. Let the hands come to us. Okay, down 2. Now, same again, patience. Holding that 21 speed. Hold that flywheel. Feel a stretch in those calves, Achilles. As we let that seat roll up underneath, natural length. Okay, just ride with it. Have nice relaxed hands, so the hands go out in front of us. Don't need to be gripped, choking the handle. Want to have control, okay? But don't have to have it choked and tight, so that we've got forearm tension or anything like that. There's a difference. Remembering that hang is what we're after on the drive. Our grip strength in our fingers really makes us hold the weight that our legs and body can produce. This is good. Okay, we're continuous. We're flowing. We're being smooth around the back, smooth around the front. Getting that flywheel, picking it up. Okay, down 2. Now, patience. Just more time to glide forward on this recovery. Nice. Okay, come down, same again. Like we're going up. If it takes you 7 or 8 strokes, so be it. There we are. Okay, now just really feeling the movements, making sure they're smooth. Try and be relaxed. Try being the optimal word. Feel ourselves rolling into the front, being prepared, and then just roll away out of the front, okay? Don't have to think about having weight or being strong there, okay? We've got the whole stroke right through here to generate our power, okay? We generate it through here. We don't generate it here off the catch. It's created right through the stroke. We pick it, we press, and we swing right through the stroke, okay? Not just from the front. Last couple. Okay, really good. Okay, really good team. Okay, good pyramid stuff there. Going up and down. Getting ourselves into that nice, comfortable position. And just really working on the relaxation right through this stroke and the recovery. Okay, getting ourselves into a nice setup position. Setting into the front. Okay, remember that being the key. We don't need to be here and set and tight as we come into here, because that just makes it awful out the front. Now we can be 90% set, suppleness in the arms and the legs, roll in. Okay, and by the time we get to that front, we're going to be naturally set in that position to be able to just push away. Okay, so this one here is a little bit different. Straight up to 23. Get on a good speed, and then we're just going to decrease it all the way down. Here we go. Now, so first 15, 20 seconds, just get our rating working. Move the hand. Good. Now for the next 15 so seconds, feel the pressure, the drive, feel the acceleration. Good. Thanks, Siri. Great to know that I've finished my exercise for the day. Can I stop? Okay, nice movement. As I say, feeling this body. The generation of speed through the stroke. Not right from the front. Happens right through when the legs and body combine. That's our peak force moment. About halfway through the stroke. And if we do it smooth, without huge tension, allows us to put it on repeat and do it multiple times. Okay, good. Okay, so we're changing down, but we're not really coming down too much. Okay, now, so just a tiny bit of patience. Bringing that rate back a bit. Don't be focused too much on the rating, okay? It is a guide. It doesn't need to be super religious. We're just flicking in and out of the 22. The idea is to set a target that we want to try and get to. Okay. Let's work this nice flat raw with me. Handles coming to the body. Really good. Really nice. Nice patience. Feeling now. Let's feel our drive for a bit. Feel that push and the swing. The body pivoting through the hips, hinging through the hips on the drive. Making sure we're not lifting that body off the front. The legs are initiating. And then as the legs drive, the body jumps on board. Okay, down one now. Third onto this 21. So as we do that drive with the legs, body comes in. And we have one smooth motion to the finish. And the key is, if we have a good one, we don't want to be like, oh yeah boy, and then stop. Got to remember to release, let the hands roll around, back onto the next one. Okay, knowing that by the time the arms are actually being drawn into the body, if you've ever looked at the force curve, the force is bottoming out, and yet this area here into the finish is one of the areas that people waste way too much energy. Okay, we are holding the speed, we're holding this motion, we're not trying to add anything. Hands come to us, we release them back out onto their plane, flow with it. Right, 28 now. Just that tiny bit more control. Remember also, now we're back on this reasonably comfortable rate. Feel what I was just saying about the finish. Hands coming to us. Let them go out. Start drawing us back forward. Remember to have soft, supple knees. Okay? Don't lock them out and then go over and then have them pop up. They're straight. But as soon as we start getting the hips back over, body comes over, the knees are just naturally popping up easily, allowing us to flow forward, okay? We want the body to start coming forward, okay, so that we don't have ourselves hips backwards and then have to do this, okay? Remember, allow this handle to dictate us coming forward. We can feel it in the hands. You can feel this resistance of the chain. We roll with it. Okay, last change, on to 19. Now, a little bit more patience. Good. Roll forward. We've got time. Feel that setup. Okay, we should really feel this glide into the front now. This pick up of that flywheel gear, okay? And then moving away with it. Okay, this is really good. Okay, focus on our rhythm. Focus on our flow. Focus on your breathing. Feel your own stress level, your own work rate. If you've got clenched teeth, your face is a bit clenched, back it off. Shake it out. Open the mouth. That'd be nice and loose and relaxed. Okay, good. Feel this compression. Smooth in, smooth out. That's it, last couple. Okay, really good. Okay, so a different piece there. Starting high, coming down. The last 4 minutes, you know, at 20, 19. Hopefully you just felt really smooth and the time that we've got coming forward. Okay, because when we're up at 23, everything's moving reasonably quick. Okay, but then we've just got time to just come forward, feel ourselves in that position, and then go again. Okay, one of these things, you know, we're talking about today around this roll around the catch. You don't have to have full pressure here. Okay, it's one of the misconceptions. You see people and they're like, I've got to have all the power from the front. Okay, the power is here. When the legs are driving and the body's starting to come in, this is where you've got your peak force. Yes, we do need to pick it up well around the front, but it's through here that we get our speed. Okay, here we go. Pyramid, starting at 18. Okay, and we're going to go 1 minute changes all the way. Okay, so this last 10 minutes here, be nice and patient here to start. Okay, be really smooth, controlled, nice hand speed, patience forward, feeling that compression, feeling the seat, the relationship between the handle and seat. Okay, and every minute on the change up and on the change down, everything just moves that little bit quicker or slower. Okay, here we go, up. Okay, good there on 19. So we've got plenty of time. Feel that roll forward. Check how we're moving. Check our positioning. Remember, let the machine Draw us back to the catch. If you don't feel like there's enough resistance to shoot that chain back that way, it may be time for a new bungee. We can talk about that at the finish. Okay, nice and smooth. Right, up one. Now, feel this continuous motion. Feel one continuous press on the feet, allowing the body to come with it through the middle of the stroke. I know full well this is the last set today. This is good. Okay, we've got time. We're going to be smooth. Roll with it. No jerky movements. No stop start. Up one. Now. How do we go up? Just a little bit more hand speed. And ride it a little bit quicker forward. And there's a fraction more acceleration on the drive. Okay, this is nice. Breathe. Relax. Feel this hang under the armpits. Feel the pressure on both feet as you drive. Nice and symmetrical. Straight down the middle. Up one. Now, 22. Just moving that a little bit quicker. A little bit more freedom. The freedom I talk about is letting the hands and the recovery with the machine doing its work. Okay, we don't want to hold it back. If the machine has freedom, we just ride it, okay? This is good. Really nice. Okay, up one more. Now, acceleration of the legs. Let that chain, recovery, do it for us. Good. Really nice. With patience. This is it, okay? We're just sitting here, tapping it along. Continuous motion. Work the drive. Relax the recovery. Do that on repeat. Okay? Patience. Down one. Now. 22. Small change. Hold that flywheel speed as long as we can. Remember, it happens through the stroke, not right off the front. Good. Stay loose in the shoulders. Good core stability. Good patience. Okay, that's nice. Going down one more. Now, 21. Nice natural length. Get in a good setup. As we roll forward. Nice and smooth. Good patience. Let that sit right underneath us. We've already got the body coming forward. So we're getting ourselves into position. We just allow that compression come with the seat. Right, 20. Now. Now we can start to feel the length of the drive. We start to feel a bit longer. Feel that pressure through the stroke. A little bit further. Okay. This is good. Patience. Really good. Breathing. And smooth. Okay, last minute. 19. Now. Okay, hold the movements. Stay relaxed. Remember the creation right through the drive. This is good. Last 30 seconds. Really nice. Okay. Great session. Finish it off well. Stay loose in the face. Hold the form. Stay relaxed. Last couple. And that's it. Okay. Really nice. Don't stop on me now, team. Okay. We're just going to roll it out 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. Just catch our breath. Let the heart rates come back down. Okay. We'll have a good chat along the way and then afterwards. Okay, so always remembering that. I'll drill it into the day I'm not here. Never stop, okay? Just allow the muscles to still have a little bit of pressure against them, which means they're asking for a bit of oxygen. But because we're not obviously working it too hard, we can deliver that oxygen. We can help those muscles recover, okay? Always. Doesn't matter what piece you do. Even after a 2K, don't stop and lay on the floor. Leave the handle up here and just move back and forward, okay? Do something like that. Just press the menu button or whatever. Save it into your memory. We can go back and have a gander at it afterwards. Okay, it's really good for your own personal point of view to have a look. Yep, the sessions are a little bit out of sync in terms of like consistent ratings, etc., but still should give you a good idea, because if you felt one specific set in particular was better than another, you could go back and just have a look at the average speed and be like, yeah, actually it's good. Okay, but really good focus today from what we were trying to achieve. Okay, this coming into the front and rolling around here. Okay, now I don't know if we've ever actually done it, but I think we had done a lot previously, but you guys just keep rowing. And there's a couple of exercises, one that I always do, which is all of this building off the back, okay, and that allows for that nice soft knees, get the body pivoting over, and that's what I find the hardest, because that's where I need to warm up, is through my hips and the body action. Okay, now another exercise when you're on the machine is to work around this front, okay, which is just coming in, rolling away. Okay, now we don't need to necessarily feel like we've got resistance against the flywheel, because we're going to have slip, okay, and that slip is about that much, okay. But another exercise just to do every now and again, whether it's after, before, some other time, is what's called the front arm, like straight arm exercise. Okay, and you can do it in various ways. Okay, one of them is just hold the body straight. Okay, legs push nearly all the way down, like that. Okay, and then the next one is bringing the body through, like so. Okay, leaving the arms out of the equation. And then obviously the last one is bringing it all through. Okay, and you break that down into a series of 5 or 10 strokes. Now the other one is just the catch, which is just this part here. Okay, which is rolling in and rolling out. Okay, and we just do this. We just roll in and we feel when we get the pickup. Okay, so if you guys want to do it with me now, we're not trying to break records, we're not trying to feel massive power. All I want you to do is just roll in from half slide, okay, and just watch how far the handle comes back before you actually get that pickup, okay? There's a little bit of space. And one of the major things you see with most people is they're trying to eliminate that little bit of slip around the front, okay? Now that starts to go with rating and what I'm trying to teach you of rolling in and then picking it up. There's still a little bit of slip. Now, people don't realize that through the middle here is where your maximum force is created, okay? So when we're doing this here, we're not actually getting our full force from this part here. And that's why you see people do this, or they lift, because they lose that slip becomes shorter. So they feel like they're onto the machine quicker, but they sacrifice the ability to be able to hold it through the middle because they've got that's happened, okay? So they've got the connection. It feels great. Like it's like, yeah, I've got that power, okay? And you can feel it. You're like, yeah, boy, got it, okay? But it doesn't give you the acceleration of the body through the middle of the stroke, okay? So every now and again, just doing this exercise of just rolling around the front like this, okay? And just sitting there. You can even come back down further, okay? Look, I've got no movement in the shoulders. I'm just really trying to feel that hang out of the front, okay? And you just it takes so long to try and perfect this front end, okay? I'm not going to lie. And all we're trying to do is make it as smooth as possible, so that we allow ourselves to pick up and then get the benefit of the legs, creating the body, swinging off the legs, and finding a rhythm where we're working the whole body, legs and body, holding it through with the arms to the finish, okay? So just even having a play like this, and Sometimes even just feeling yourself, feel that seat coming up underneath us into that position and just moving away. Okay, because that's basically what we're trying to do is as we roll in at 20 rate, we roll in, okay, and we're just moving back out, same similar speed, roll in and back out. Okay, so sometimes just doing this front exercise like that, it just helps feel where you're getting the pickup from. Is it in the feet? Is it up in here? Okay, but ideally, we want to just feel like it's hung right through this. Okay, we're in a big sort of C shape, and we've got all those muscle groups connected all the way down like this. Okay, and then that we just get longer. Then we start bringing in the body. Okay, and then all of a sudden, we've got a nice smooth stroke. Okay, and that's really what we're trying to do. Is we're just trying to understand that to get the maximum out of the machine, we've got to use all the parts of our body in a sequence that just allow for all the forces to just stack up on top of each other. Okay, you'll hear me talk about sequencing, feel a sequence of the stroke. Okay, and everything just stacks on top of it. And then we relax coming forward. Okay, and that's where that work-rest ratio comes in. So we do that. Okay. The other way to do that exercise as well, if you really want to, okay, is to take the drag all the way to the top. And then that just adds another complexity where it's very heavy. Okay, so you come in like this. Okay, just take a little bit more time because the air goes out. Okay, and now you can feel that resistance. Okay, it's easier to feel that resistance and less slip. Okay, if you do it with me now with a little bit more time. Okay, because the flywheel now has pretty much lost all of its speed because the air's all shot out of it. Okay, and that's why it feels heavier and easier to pick up the front. Okay, hence why a lot of people have a high drag, and you'll always tend to see lifting with the shoulders because you don't get that slip off the front. And that slip is one of the things that people, if you have too much slip, you can not quite get the speed, and it's easier to lift the shoulders or lift the drag up and feel like you're picking up the machine speed, okay, rather than working on the best biomechanical way to be able to make that stroke happen through the whole motion of what we're doing. Okay, now, in a way, there's nothing wrong. Well, there is things wrong with obviously lifting off the front, but for some people who are using it, CrossFit, 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 500 meters, who cares? Okay, they just haul on it, don't give a shit. Okay, but if you're wanting to use this as a good cardio base, as a way to really get a great all-round body workout, which is by building the muscles all through these muscle groups, then we do want to try and make it into that best biomechanical way that we possibly can. Okay, so team, let's have a look. I want to see the chat. Hi to everyone. Hi, team, all the way down there. Ronnie, all my PRs are at 28 rating. When I try and pace a higher rating, I cannot hold the power. Trying to break 640. Try and race at a higher rating. I cannot hold the power. It really comes down to training at a higher rate. Okay, so it's a great question. You have to be able to, like, if 28's where you're finding like your pace, you just have to be able to do workouts and interval training that go above like that, because at the moment your ceiling is at 28. Okay, and nothing wrong with it, it's what you want to do. But if you're really trying to go and do like 6 minutes 40, then the thing with the trade-off is, if you rate high, yes, your power has to come down low. Okay, if you want high power, yes, you can rate low. So you are going to have to sacrifice a little bit of power to get that rating. And what it might just be for you is the fact that if you haven't done a lot of work above that, you'll feel like you're chasing it, and you'll be like, I'm running out of gas, or I'm doing way too many strokes, and your body just can't keep up with that, and you'll just feel like you're not doing what you used to be doing because this was your old ceiling. So you really have to look at doing some interval work that takes you above that 28, and then in your own mind you have to realize that yes, you do have to sacrifice power, okay? Because if I was to draw a power curve, okay, power is exponential, okay, but rate's very linear. And so if your rating's going up, but your power, you can't quite get that extra little piece, okay, then what's happening is it's starting to taper off. It's not getting that exponential gain. It starts becoming linear with rating, which obviously means that it's feeling uncomfortable for you. So I would say you probably just need to do some interval stuff above that to start getting a better feeling for a rating higher, but also sacrificing. Okay, so for example, what are you doing? 640, so you need to hold a 140 pace. You know, it's like doing work around 30, 32 and just looking to hold 139, 138, okay, and doing repeats of that. You know, maybe it's 1 minute pieces and you're just trying to hold that speed, you know, or, you know, just doing interval training, not worrying too much about the speed, but getting used to and comfortable with the movement of what you're trying to achieve, okay? Great start to the new year, Michael. Thanks so much. Sam, thanks. Feels good to be back. Edward, first one for the year. Virtual Team Challenge, let's go. Thanks, Robro. Chris, are my arms supposed to be locked out at the front? I find my forearms naturally being slightly at the front. The whole thing with the arms is that you want to have, just like the knees and everything, is that you can have them locked, okay, but what happens is really locked out like this, you might find that there's a lot of tension through your shoulder blades and bits and pieces, okay? Now, there's a difference between arms being straight and arms being locked out, okay? It's no different with being around the back here, like knees straight, knees locked out, okay? We want to have enough stability that there's movement in our joints so that things can happen, things can move, things can be loose, okay? So as we are coming through, because if we're locked out and then we've got to pull the arms or start the draw, okay, if they're really locked out like this, it's an awkward way to try and get the looseness back into the joints. So I would say if you've got a little bit of a bend, it's not an issue, okay? There's a little bit of a bend being just taking the slack, and then there's like taking the bend, okay? That there is going to take away from your potential power through the stroke, okay? A little bit of suppleness like that, doesn't matter, okay? If it feels comfortable for you, that's fine. Okay, so that's probably one of the things, is that there's all these little bits and pieces and quirkiness around the erg, because everyone thinks we need to be bolt upright and stiff at the front, you know, really straight backs, but having a little bit more curve in the spine is nice, okay? It's better because then it allows you to have more flexibility through rather than being straight and stiff, okay, with things like that. So there's just, and you'll hear me say it every now and again when we're running along, be supple, okay? Be relaxed with the movements, okay? Come into the front, be relaxed, feel the arms, feel the shoulders, feel the head, feel the body, okay? Don't be like, I've got to be a robot. Just have that little bit of suppleness and find out how that affects your stroke, you know, and row along for a while. Does it help with just a little bit of looseness in the arms around the front? Okay, and the more that you look into that, the better, you know, and the more you get an understanding around whether it is better or whether it's actually not being as good as it should be, okay? Robro, any tips for avoiding laziness at the finish? Stroke reading to right. At my higher rate, my swing is great, but at lower rate, I don't feel like I'm holding form. Laziness at the finish. The one thing, Robro, around everything is and we started to talk about it a little bit through where you're not getting all your power here at the front, okay? So the laziness around the finish is because you've taken a really good stroke and you're like, yeah, boy. Oh, hang on, I've got to get back to the front. Okay, so if we get the swing happening, we're almost thinking just before the hands come into the body, we've got to get back out onto the next stroke, okay? And it's one thing I said before as well, slightly off track, but if you don't feel like this chain is wanting to do that real fast, you need to put in a new bungee, okay? Because the bungee wears down over a couple million Ks, that sort of, million meters, whatever. So putting in a new bungee allows us to get around this finish, okay? And all we have to do is move with it, okay? See how fast I can go there? I can go at like 60 rate, and you don't see the chain doing this because I'm just smooth as it comes in, because the bungee is trying to make me go as quick as we can. So going back to the laziness, a lot of the laziness comes because we take a great stroke through the middle and we're like, yeah, boy, look at the force curve, look at the speed. And then we just, oh, hang on, I've got to get out to the next one. Okay, so to not overcomplicate it, but what I'm thinking about when I'm rowing in my strokes is, as soon as I've got into a position of something, I'm thinking about the next thing, and I'm thinking about the next thing after that. So when I'm here, I'm already thinking about my hands being back over the top of my knees. And by the time my hands are back over the top of my knees, I'm already thinking about my body coming into the front. And when I'm about here, I'm already thinking about this motion around the front. And so when I'm coming through here, I'm already thinking about my hands coming back out over the knees again, because I've already done the movement that I've wanted to do. Now I'm on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And because it is a continuous thing, there's no point going, oh, I better think about the finish now, okay? Fractions of a second before something's about to happen, you've already thought about it, and you've already thought about the trajectory that something's coming in, and you're like, oh, it's a bit high, never mind, do that better next time, okay? And so it's always possibly thinking about the future after you've already done something, you know what I mean? Because if the more you think about that, the better you start getting into it, the more consistent you make the stroke, and the more consistent and continuous we make this rowing stroke. We keep the flywheel spinning, we tap it along, we just keep moving, we get our speed, okay? And that's the whole idea, is the more continuous and whatever we can be. And I know this may not sound like a lot, but you know, if you were to do like 4 10-minute pieces at exactly the same rating, you know, one of them you've got it just a little bit better, you might be 10 meters further, and you think, well, 10 meters isn't a lot, and you're like, yeah, but it's a stroke or and a bit, you know, it's like, it's improvement, it's better than it was previously. And that's what you start to find on the machine. You know, we look at it when you do pieces, you know, the difference between 1,000 meters, your PB might be 4 minutes, example, round number. And then you go out and you do 3 minutes 59. You're like, wow, yeah, sweet, I beat it. And you only think, well, it's only 1 second. But with this machine is that seconds feel like an ocean sometimes. You know, even when you're training, you're like, I can't hold 2 minute splits. It's too hard. I can only hold like 201s, 202s. And you're thinking, man, for me to hold 2 minutes, it's just like, it's a mind blowing, you know, or whatever it might be. So just always searching for that little bit of smoothness and a little bit extra over time, okay? And we've got to remember, we've got to be realistic. It takes time to get better, okay? That's why I'm here trying to just instill a few different bits and pieces that for you to go away and do your own thing and just start trusting in the movement that we're trying to create, the biomechanics of what we're trying to do, the rhythm that we're trying to achieve. If you can just get that a little bit easier, not use as much energy, when you take that into it, when you're trying to do a test for your own personal bests, whatever, you might be able to beat it, okay? And you might get that second or two, and then you'll be like, yeah, boy, here we go. And then you're going to focus back on it again and again, and then you have a break, and then you've got to work it back again. It's complex, okay? But hey, that's what it's all about. Thanks, team. Awesome work. Thank you very much. Cheers, team. Everyone that's joined here today. Awesome work. Good little session just to really work on that front stuff. We'll be back later time next week. Yes, we will be. Then we have a break and then we come back again. Sorry, I've got to go away for another holiday with a girlfriend. And then basically into February, March, we'll be back into some quite consistent stuff and et cetera, et cetera. So just keep it up, okay? Hope you've all had a great break. Hope things are okay where you all are. Obviously, we're still in the crux of all the crap. Social distance, wear a mask, go get vaccinated, booster vaccinations. Can't fucking wait to get my one. You know, do what needs to be done, keep you and your family safe, etc. And just keep at it, okay? Keep training, keep mixing it up, okay? You don't need to stay on the same things all the time. Have a break for a while if you need to, just mentally refresh. You know, honestly, rowing is one of probably, I'm still going to say it's the hardest exercise in the world, okay? To get it right, because it's using all the muscle groups getting it right, okay? And sometimes you feel like you're not getting it, okay? And that's where you might need to just back off for a bit or just use it for the tool for a while and then refocus again to build back into some sort of form. And that's one of the things with rowing. You know, if you set yourself a goal and you do a set period of time, that's what it takes, okay? It's not like, oh, you know, sweet, next Wednesday I want to try and beat my 1K. I haven't really been doing any speed work, but we'll give it a whirl, okay? Probably not going to happen. Maybe, maybe not, okay? But if you work into things, you do the right training, prepare for it, you can put down a really good effort, okay? Other than that, thanks, team, and we will see you guys later on. Stay safe. Thanks for me and the Sensei team. All the best, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.